Workouts are where swimmers get better, and the better the workouts, the more swimmers are going to improve. And the more focused workouts can be on concrete goals, the more swimmers will improve. Let's take a look at how to make that happen. Hi everyone, Andrew here, helping you help your swimmers get faster. I was recently asked about workout design and how to set up workouts appropriately to ensure that swimmers are improving. In this video, I'm going to share my perspective on this critical question and hopefully provide some clarity about how to tackle workout design from a big picture perspective. The strategy that I found to be of most use is that of workout themes. I prefer workouts to have a very clear, very deliberate theme. Why? It helps you understand exactly what you need to get done, and it guides you in terms of what you need to do. It's really easy to get distracted and try to do everything, when in reality, it's most important to focus on the things that really matter and ensure that swimmers are making progress in those areas. Workout themes help you get that done. There are training themes, there are strokes to work, and there are skills to improve. They all provide a different perspective on the theme concept. Let's take a look at the different levels to better understand what they are, what they mean, and how to implement them. In terms of the type of work you're going to do, there are two main options. You can approach it from a physiological perspective, or you can approach it from a performance perspective. From a physiological perspective, you're thinking about what types of training, what types of physiology are you looking to develop. It could be sprint training, it could be aerobic training, it could be threshold training, it could be VO2 max training, it could be some sort of lactate training. These are all different examples of different types of training, and they can all be used as a physiological theme. So whatever type of training is the focus of that workout, that becomes the workout theme. So this is an aerobic workout, this is a lactate workout, this is a threshold workout. Whatever the type of training, that becomes the focus of the workout. And so everything in that workout is actually doing that type of work, or preparing to do that work, or recovering from that work. Everything is geared towards improvement in that specific area. It really helps you lock in on the content of that workout because everything is going to follow in that theme. And since mixed training often leads to mixed results, you get a very focused workout and you're much more likely to accomplish what you set out to do. In almost all cases, focus leads to progress. The second option from a training standpoint is to use performance themes. For instance, so a given workout could be geared towards improving performance over 100 meters or 200 meters or a 400 IM. When there's a clear goal, that often tends to reflect itself in the physiology that's developed. For example, there are certain things that need to be done to prepare for a 100-meter race, and those are the type of activities that are going to be performed in a 100-meter themed workout. What I like about the performance theme is that everything is geared towards improving performance in a specific event. And in that respect, 100-meter workouts are going to look very different from 400-meter workouts. We are preparing to race, and that can be really useful for identifying what needs to happen in practice in order to help swimmers improve their racing performance. Generally speaking, I like to theme intense workouts from a performance perspective rather than a physiological perspective. So instead of doing a lactate set, for instance, which is definitely going to be high intensity, I'd prefer to have a 100-meter workout or a 200-meter workout or even perhaps a 400-meter workout. That high intensity work is going to be more specific to what swimmers actually need to do. However, when the workout is more aerobic in nature, I tend to think about things much more from a physiological perspective because we're not necessarily preparing for specific races. It's more about building the underlying fitness that supports racing success. So when using a training theme at the lower end of the intensity scale, I think about things more from a physiological perspective. And on the higher intensity side, I think more in terms of the race demands. However, that's a personal preference, and you can certainly use themes in any way you'd like. The key idea is the same type of training is going to be included within that workout, and that training is going to be guided by the theme of the workout. So rather than doing a workout that has aerobic work, lactate work, VO2 max, all sorts of different things, you tend to focus on one thing, and that's the main priority, and that's what you're really looking to accomplish. Beyond the physiological aspect, you have to have a clear stroke focus. What strokes are you actually going to improve? The younger the swimmers are, the more I think you can have more than one stroke focus within a single workout. They're not training as much, they don't have as many workouts to do lots of different things, and they don't necessarily need as much work to improve, so doing one set of a stroke is often sufficient to get progress, whereas older swimmers may have to do multiple sets within a workout for the same stroke in order to make progress. Of course, those are just general guidelines, and you can adapt that based upon what you want to accomplish. The key idea, though, is focus, and when you focus, you're more likely to get progress. Once you know the strokes to develop, I think it's really important to be really clear about the specific skills that you want to develop within those strokes as well. I try to keep it to one main skill per set, but if you have multiple sets within a workout for the same stroke, you can obviously work on multiple skills. However, if there's just one set, it tends to be one skill that I'm really going to lock in on. The thought process here is that it takes a lot of work to actually get change within the skills, so you have to be focused, you have to be locked in order to get the changes that you're looking for. And if you're focusing on one skill per set, and there probably aren't a lot of workouts per stroke or sets per stroke throughout the course of the week, you have to really focus on the skills that absolutely matter in order to drive performance forward. Otherwise, you're just wasting time. And so for all sets, I have a primary stroke that's the focus, and I have a primary skill that's the focus for that stroke. That ensures that I'm focused on what matters, and I design sets that work towards those goals I've set. I'd rather work on one thing really, really well and make progress rather than working on three things and make no progress at all. It's important to note that this all happens before I write any sets. I want to know the type of training, I want to know the stroke, and I want to know the skills. Then I make sure that that type of work and those skills get addressed. And if I can accomplish the main objective of the practice, then it was a good practice. That needs to be the most important goal, is to keep the goal that you set, the goal throughout the workout, and get that done. Once you're consistent with successfully accomplishing the main goals of the workout, then you can add other components to the workout too. Ideally, they'd be supportive of the main goal, but they don't necessarily have to be. However, it definitely shouldn't take away anything from the main goal unless there's a very specific reason. So for instance, doing a really, really hard 3,000 meter aerobic set before trying to work on some 200 pace stuff doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Are there situations where maybe that's a good idea? Perhaps, but you better have a very, very, very good reason as to why you want to do something like that. Having workout themes is a really, really important process because it ensures that you get done the necessary work each and every week. The themes that you use every week should cover all the important strokes, all the important skills, and all the important training needs. With very clear themes, the important work gets done, and it's much easier to identify if something is missing from the program. Just as importantly, it's easy to identify if you're overdoing things and doing them too often as well. If you want to know more about how to decide what skills to focus on, check out the video here.